all your creation throughout the whole wide world. We continue to submit ourselves unreservedly under your direction, and that you grant each and every one of us the spirit to be humble, to be meek, to be gentle, to be respectful to each another. And help us as we go through the sitting of the TRRC today. We commit the witnesses that will appear before this commission. And we do pray that each and every one of them will be bold enough to be honest and to speak the truth. Grant the commission also the discerning spirit in every situation to discern between truth and falsehood, and grant the population and those in the diaspora as well as they follow the proceedings. Grant them the patience to be able to allow the due process to take its proper course. This we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Bishop Odiko. I had on Monday, at the beginning of this session of the commission, informed everybody that the commission would be dealing with issues relating to reparations. In this connection, we had worked on way of handling the granting of reparations, the consideration of the matter, and in this connection, we have a statement that the chairperson of the reparations committee, the deputy chair of this commission, would read a statement on the procedures and what is involved in what we want to do vis-a-vis reparations. Deputy Chair, you have the floor. If you can read them the statement on behalf of the Commission.
Thank you, Chair. This is a call for submission of complaints to the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission. The TRRC hereby invites all persons who suffered human rights violations and abuses perpetrated by the state or its agents from the period July 1994 to January 2017 to submit their complaints to the TRRC by 1st March 2021. Persons who have already submitted their complaints and have not testified publicly or privately before the Commission need not resubmit. This is to ensure that all genuine complainants are included in the TRRC process, and that those persons granted victim status can be considered for reparations. This is in line with the TRRC's mandate to grant reparations to an applicant who is a victim upon consideration of the evidence received or obtained in order to restore the human and civil dignity of the victim. This is according to the TRRC Act, Section 21. The complaints must be in relation to the Commission's mandate, and this includes acts of torture, unlawful killings, sexual and gender-based violence, enforced disappearance of persons, inhumane and degrading treatment, arbitrary arrest and detention without trial. All complaints must be submitted in writing to the TRRC. This can be done in person at the TRRC premises or during outreach missions or via electronic communications. Where necessary, the TRRC will provide free clerical interpretation and psychosocial support to persons reporting complaints. The complaint form is available at the TRRC Dunes Resort, Kotu, and on the TRRC website and Facebook page. All complaints will go through a process of verification by the TRRC. Complainants who meet the eligibility criteria for victim status will be informed, as well as applications that do not meet the criteria for granting of reparations. Where it is deemed by the Commission that the complainant does not qualify for victim status, the decision will be communicated to the complainant in writing, stating the reasons why it was not approved. For complainants or victims who cannot read, a staff member of the TRRC will assist in reading the decision to such complainants. Complaints may be made individually or collectively. Collective reparations may be received by a group of persons that suffered violations or abuses due to one or more reasons relating to their group identity. An individual or group whose application has been rejected can resubmit the complaint after providing additional information and supporting material. This call is an urgent appeal by the TRRC for complainants to submit their complaints within the specified period so that reparations are granted on a fair and transparent basis without discrimination of any form. Dated this 4th day of February 2021. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much indeed, the Chair of the Reparations Committee. And the statement will be issued as a press release shortly. Council, if you are ready, this morning's witness, you may please proceed.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, commissioners and members of the audience. Yes, we are ready to start with this morning's witness.
Thank you.
I, Momodou Hydara,
I, Momodou Hydara,
do swear
do swear
I'll speak the truth,
to speak the truth,
the whole truth,
truth,
and
and nothing
nothing but the truth.
but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me Allah. Bismillah. Good morning, Mr. Witness. Welcome to the TRRC.
Good morning.
Mr. Witness, you've just taken a note to speak the truth. May I remind you that it's an offense under the laws of this country to lie under oath. It is also an offense to provide false or misleading information to the TRRC. Are you aware of that?
Correct.
That's right. Mr. Witness, interpretation. Mr. Witness, the TRRC has adopted this procedure of allowing for interpretation of testimonies in the local languages so as to benefit those listening at home. In which local language would you prefer that your testimony be translated into? If you say Nar, I am sorry. so you choose something else.
I'll prefer Mandinka.
Mandinka. Fantastic. The booth is already set up for Mandinka interpretation. And you would allow the interpreters to interpret for you, even though you don't need it. But allow them to interpret before you respond. That is important so that what you say would be captured by the transcribers, and we also avoid overlap of speeches. So, yes, the issues we would like to discuss with you today would be, of course, your biographical information and some of the work you did at the NIA. In particular, the work of the 2006, March 2006 Ndur Cham investigation fund. And in that you have been adversely mentioned as a participant in that panel that during which people were tortured and interrogated and illegal confessions obtained from them.
Panelo nyin kono biri ya londi afota je ko idabula to panelo nyin kono le andum ila panelo nyin dabulo nyin kono mol men ya lon ko ye tumi ko to le lafta o boyin kan kala no 2006 biri ye nata je ye tajire yala ye lipa e ku jawol kela andum ye kuma kan sote bulu kuma kan lu sote bulu nyame wala nyindi ko tajire ya nyin ani wol lipa ro jawol nyimbi akite kan ye kuma kan sote bulu wato.
We would also like you to talk about the Freedom newspaper investigations that occurred at the NIA while you were there.
Bela fa kacala fanan pula me ya lonko Freedom kibar bunda nyim fanan namul biri ye muda kiskisiro nyim me ida bula da kono bela fa kacawo fanan na.
And also the journalists who were brought to the NIA, Madi Cisse and others, what happened to them, the information we have is that they were tortured and you and Mr. Sambu were aware of it and did not do anything about it.
Nung journalist wol fana me yalon ko ye munane mu de naade je abe kono Madi Cisse ana do nyolu kidi amoko no ja findita ko ye wol fana ye tajire yale.
So those are the instances in which you've been adversely mentioned. But that aside, we would like you to assist the Commission to understand the NIA. So we would like you, in your statement you have included a few new issues that you would want to discuss. Those are what you call other relevant issues. Such as the creation of the junglers, the origins of the Langtombong Tamba case, the compliance with the hierarchy, that is the working arrangements at the NIA, whether they were in line with the chain of command or not. And relevant issues pertaining to key personalities. Are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Council. Thank you very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Council Abaraka.
First, my name is Momodou Hydara.
Mr. Hydara, you should wait for questions.
Yes. Thank you. Can I start with my?
No, you'd have to be led in evidence.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sorry
What are
about
your
that.
full names, Mr. Witness?
Itoni konto dun sedo
Name is Momodou Hydara.
Date of birth?
tom fode Momodou Hydara leti
ila wulu sango
27 July 1967,
lay karotul mwani woro wulo 1967
Bansang.
nguluta bansang
And tell us about your education.
dallon do nyi ya do damura nyamen fo i labanda damen afanya bang
Well, I went to Bansang Primary School from
That-
here.
ndata bansang primary karambungol to
Just kind of catchy there a little bit from 76 to 78.
bo 76 kata 78 sango kono
And then I briefly left school
tum wati sutung na
Why?
karambungo bula
and then came back and started primary 3 at 1982.
nguluta nan kota ke nga follow primary 3 1982 sango kono
What did you do when you left school?
yamune ke biriya karango dabula
Just
Well-
as a matter of curiosity.
Yes,
ko
well,
ronnem
at the time, family feels I should be reading some to do my data at the same time.
dimbaya e nyene ko nyanta mori karango le kala wotembo
At the same time, I was also, what even prolonged it, I was a little sick afterwards.
mune ya mendi fana nata sasale fana domandi
Then I came back.
utumole nata na murunang
They wanted you to be a serif asking for idea.
gafta ke siri ko burka kanin ro kadi wala
So, and I sat for my common entrance in 1985 and went to Armitage High School.
nanna londi konti boke ka fo me common entrance 1985 bitun tata amite karammo
Up to 87.
be woldo fo 1987
I transferred to Muslim High School
tumolen saunta kana muslim high school
and then sat for my O levels,
nganna o level londi konti boke wole to
1990.
1990 sango kono
And from there,
abowoto
I briefly went for teaching
no wati sutun ke kata karandirola
the Methodist Primary School,
methodist primary karambo to
5 at the time.
o tembo 95
As an unqualified teacher.
Unqualified teacher.
wala unqualified teacher karamundo moro lumenu mamma kamatake follow
And then from there,
abowoto
by then my intention was, because my whole education was geared towards science subjects,
o tembo hammo mumendi katu na londo ngamenta luka londo mbe o silole kam
was to go into the medical field.
wala mpurungata ke jara rodo kulati
And then scholarships were applied.
andu scholarship o la silo nyini
Unfortunately, in those days,
dungo tilo lukono manta bembalia kan
I was selected
yen to
to
bonne
pursue a course in Ghana.
o kata karamula gana
And then along the line, something went bad, and then
True.
I was dropped for no reason.
bitun wokolu kono kuna tatinya bari bitun ina tam nte da bondije bari malon me ya sabu
Who selected you?
mala ye tombo
The selection was done at the PSC,
to mondiro keta num
and
PSC
then we were referred to the Department of Health,
bitun ina tan na kolu samba do ku bundala me mata jata kende ala
and then we did all our paperwork.
bitun nganna kaytolu be parendi ngado
Then they said we should sit down and wait for the travel arrangements.
ko nga si ngambatu hanfo yenna tamaran
You mean
kaytolu
the
parendi
PSC was involved in the
Was
selection
involved,
of
yes.
candidates for further education?
Yes, because that's where we were interviewed.
ha katu yentelu interview jele yen nyinin ka jele
And then they said it was a WHO something, grant or something.
andum iko londi silo nyin makoyro le membo ta duniya be la jata kende akafo bulu ka
But
fo bulu le
normally-
WHO
Normally that would be done at the Ministry of Education.
bare men jar men dalta ka ke o sifa ka ke
And
ministry
to be precise,
ministry men mata
during
londo
that time, one needed to have at least A levels.
dum ka sutiyandi pour moye da bula de mar sifa to nyanna a level sotla
Yeah, what I'm trying to say here is where we went to for this particular program.
lafta men
Sort of
fula
the
jam
mean.
ntata a programme la daming
We were called to the PSC and later we were referred to the department, the Ministry of Health actually.
folo folo yen kumandi PSC le babirim pareta woto tumole na ta fu ngata jata kende ado ko
But
bundala
things didn't work out actually.
bari kolu manna so
For you or for the
No,
entire
for
group?
them, some of them they left. Some of them, I knew them when I was going to school.
dolu bi je ngelo mbirimbita kankara mundo dolu nata soto le menu tata
And then the way I came to know that I was dropped out of it is I was sitting waiting, and then I met up with somebody I recognized from there. I couldn't remember the name.
ngalo nyaadi le ko ente da bondi jele mte be siri nembe baturola bari nin mo nata nyoje ngamen sute ngamen long
and told me, and I told him, what is going on? Did you hear? He said, where have you been? Because we are processing our passports to go. I said, well,
nkaye nko sai mune be keri mbe la moyrola nata fonyo feita be min dole ntele yako nyim mbe parendi le de katumbe na passport lu tamaran kayto le parendika.
Cut it short, I went back to where everything started, and I asked, and I couldn't be given any reason.
Kako sutu yandi muruta nga kuwa follow damen kanyinin karoke bari bitum iman dalila wo dalila koy fontenoy.
That's how I dropped the idea.
Nyina ta kuwa la jele.
Then family advised me that, scholarships are hard to get, but you can start from somewhere and then go from there. I said, okay.
Bitum dimba ya nata ya mari nyina ko scholarship soto saying among sono ya scholarship wala msiloti kata karang mane bari bitum isa damu tano dula doto fana ngawo jibe.
So I said, okay, I will go for I will go to the School of Nursing and see how it works out.
Nko wotombita nosi ya karambumba nyondo kajara lo karanda me ngajibe.
This course in Ghana, what was it to be?
What they initially told us is to go and study pharmacology.
Ye men follow fontole wala ngata je ngata boro lu Kenya kara.
Pharmacology is almost as hard as medicine.
Yes, I know.
Yal ne pharmacology akolea ko boro la ko benyame.
It would require,
Men kaninna.
it would take the same number of years as in medicine.
Besanji kilingol le kala ko ni be boro la ko karana nyame.
And 3/4 of the course are in fact medicine.
Yeah.
Karan nyimbe ala half of be nyana kala met boro ko nya karan.
It surprised me that Gambia government would give out scholarships to go and study pharmacology to O-level holders when there are A-level holders waiting to get scholarships. Be that as it may, let us go back to the main issue.
That's how it was cancelled, actually. That's how it was. So then I started the School of Nursing, and I spent a year going back and forth from the RBH to classes.
Ndata jaral karambungo to otumo mkata RBH mkata karangola katani nakeje.
But I said to myself, this was not what I was looking for.
Bari ngani mfomfaya ko mantara nyine no kanu ma amunta nyimukuleti malla finu menna.
Because I studied very hard at school.
Atu nga karango ke kende ke akwa kama karambungo.
The whole idea is not to find, with all due respect, but I wanted something better than this.
Na hammo momenti no manka nyinte lafta fenna la membete ata nyinti.
So I was there, and then all of a sudden
mbijele drong anatake tere makuti.
I heard that the president's office is recruiting.
Nata mo ko president la office obe motala.
And then when I find out they said the National Security Service,
ringa ko nyinenka inata fo bankola kanto nin tankada doku bunda.
I said by then very little was known about the NSS.
Tumo nying NSS adoku bunda nying molu mang fembalo nga koto.
But I made inquiries to just have a gist of what do they do.
Are nganyinin karolu ke purunsi londi soto wolu ila do ko fo ngay kamuneke.
I was told, well, all they do is they are the people who will be responsible for national security to make sure that people who wants to come down to subvert the government, coup d'etats and things like that, we are going to be the one who will make sure that that doesn't happen.
Konyen ko bitum wodo ko de munyineti ntelebe kala moluti menu be krosironi kantaro kala aninka noma sataro ke pour molu la ko men ya lonko walla be la fila pour kanan boyin kan na mansa kunda kan walla ka mansa kunda boyindi bitum ntelebe walla ko noma satala.
So I get interested.
Bitum anata kenya kutin hammo la hammembulata hammo ko.
I applied.
Na safero ke pour ka do ko nyinyi
Was invited for the interview.
ina tan kumandi pour ngata interview la kachani njabiroto.
Late Sambaba was one of the people who interviewed me. me.
tala samba babe molle kono men yen kacandi wo silo
Among them is Pate Jao.
kono mo fanan bije ka fay pate jaaw
Let's cut it short. You got recruited and you did the training.
I did the training.
na karango nyinke
What kind of training?
Basic intelligence service training. We did then nationals actually was borrowed from the MI5 actually because it was the body that we rely upon.
bitum na karango ke men keta kanto nin tankada kullo dinkaringo do ku nyati karango anin tankandiro la karola bari bitum na karandiro ke kitabolu menula wulu mu kitabol leti ye mennu fu do ku bunda do bulu me yalon ko ka fay MI5 pour molu sa fahamu o mu England bankola kullo bunda leti.
Did you pursue any further training?
Yes, from there after that was in 92 and then 96 I was also opportune to be selected to pursue a further course in Nigeria, Lagos.
Wo karandiru folo kata 92 le bari 96 nata silo soto pour kata wo londi la fake Nigeria banko kan
intelligent gathering processing, firearm training.
men kata kullo dinkaring men dilinta tanko nin kanto la ado ko nyin Kenya ka kibaro kafu anim fanan kele jorangulu tankarang kele jorangulu fanalu karang
with the Secret Security Service, the SSS.
anin bunda me yalon ko wollem kullo kanto nin tankada do ko bundati ikafa me SSS.
Then in 98 also I pursued another advanced training with the French intelligence services.
1998 fanan ntata anyon kullo dinkarin karangola nin France la kullo tankaran do ko bunda nyi.
And it was basically intelligent gathering, processing and dissemination.
O fanamu kanto nin tankada kullo dinkarin o kensunya liti akibaro kensunya anin ibakara janjandi la nyamen nin kibar janjantalo.
Counter espionage, city and casing and city studies, counter insurgencies, counter subversions, counter sabotage, all these things just to give you a rundown of everything.
Nata kulu karanje me ya lonko wole mfolo men ya lonko e kapare ka kuruya ke kana be kuruya tamandi banko kan ibe kundula wulu nyato nyamin anin kullo sungulu men fanal ya lonko e ka lafi o kuruya lu kala ibolu fanal la ko la nyamin anin ibe ferolu menu kala me ya lonko wolle be kala kanto nin tankada do ko nyin samba nyati anin adu ko nyin lonya banko kan pour itebe wo do ko samba la nyamin wo fanan karanje.
Then in the year 2000 again I went again, this time to Abuja.
2000 kotake ntata Abuja
for a senior intelligence management course.
Me ya lonko wo mu londi tukun sandon ko leti pour me ya lonko fana mu kullo tankaran kullo do ku bunda leti me ya lonko palaso santon kayata
with a package to become to be trained also in training of trainers.
runyin kamala isi karandi fana nyama me ya lonko ite fana sinake dolu karandi lati.
Then I also upon myself knowing that with the area I'm studying I undertook a correspondent course through the internet on security policies, international relations and information technology.
Defana wairi ngalo mbedo ko menna nata nyin tam fay
run by the Center for Security Studies.
Ru banku nim banku tema londo tamandinya tankarangol nin kantarangol nin kullo do ko la karola anin adu ko nyim fanan akroso anin akoto tamandinya.
Then in the year 2008
sangono
out of curiosity again, because sometimes you don't have to wait for government to get all these things, since I know the area I'm working in is kind of an area that is always evolving.
Amunta keta kumpa kuoti fanan katu ngalo mbedo ko menna tumodo lu ibuka batu fanan pour man sakunda ye ko be kete fanan siju be roke isi ko menu tamandino faye o dalilo le asabu sango fanan kukata
based on the evolving nature of the then NIA and all these legal tussles happening, and then I decided to take a diploma in law.
Itung NIA la do ko bunda falim kolu nin kolu kata maje nyamin wolube ya sabun nata je ko woto mbatu ngalondi la fake nata men karan wolem lua alanya ni ngala silo hanu fo ngama kamo soto je ka fo me diploma.
In the meantime, while all this was happening, the NSS which you joined had been disbanded and the NIA created, correct?
Wato nyimbe ko wato men ka fura je NSS bundani inarna aburka inarna NIA londi.
And you rose through the ranks
Narna ka fu NIA ila makamu ni nata kallafa ka sele.
to the position of Deputy Director General,
Palaso membo ko inarna ke director memo kordatio no lankoti.
and even you might have acted at some stages as Acting Director General.
Anu wat na soto na to inarna ke korda suwoni narna karfema memo actinte.
Just give us a brief rundown of the positions you held and the periods.
Silanga fanya ba ya sutian de nyabang. Ye makamol men sudi soto muran nje. Sutian ni nyabang ani la watu ila jamfo nyoy.
Like I said, in 92, when I was recruited, and then after graduating from the training school, I was a training detective, they call it those days.
Kunga fanya min 92 biringa na karango ke fonga bang na duko damuta ina tanke moti me yalonko mbe karankan wole kullo kisi bunda nyi nga wole flota.
Then I was by then attached to the economic sabotage unit.
Tembo yensamba bunda menna wole menka fanka tinyake ka bankola fanko se ndikoma wo kufasongulu ntarta wa bunda le la follow.
Then before 94, before the coup, I also served in the counter-espionage unit.
1994 sango kono jannin kudeta be kala ngadu ko ke bunda la fana me yalon ko wolle fana le ka modolu la ko no masata men yalon ko keta kullo sungulti anim fana e kala fi kulu kala kullo kono men keta tinyarol.
And in 94 August, after the coup,
to 1994 August karo kono kudeta tambirngo
I was transferred as a liaison officer at Fatwa.
yen sawundi kan samba fatoto ka ke temalan koti wala mchokinyolo la kunyal betar la membulu nga tara wodo ko bundala utumole yen samba fatoto.
I was there till about 98.
Bewol to 498 sango kono.
Then later I was transferred to Bassi, but before then, while I was in Fatoro, I got promoted in 96. I rose to the rank of a chief detective.
1996 sango kono nga makamo soto wala chief detective ti bitung yo makamo dinna yen na palaso la fa.
Then in 1998, I was elevated again to the rank of Officer Commanding Upper River Eastern Command, actually.
Tumo len 1998 yenna palaso la fa kake kunton koti tiliboma fangola membe marala jela.
When with a promotion as an Assistant Security Commandant.
Tumo la fana muinata makamo dinna wala membe kala nyaton ko nolan koti memmo kanton intankada do koti.
Then around 2000, I was recalled back to headquarters.
2000 sango kono yembondi nanje ma fangola yennati nan kana korda ba nyinto.
And I briefly served at the unit for political and dissident groups.
No wati sutunke do ku bundala me yalonko wolleb ka politiko kunya lu korosi anin banko konnantewlu wala men yalonko ka balang man sakunda bulu.
Then I was moved back to my unit again, the counter-espionage unit.
Kota kay nata murundi na palasi koto nyinto wala menu ka kullo sumol la kono masata anin tinyar lalu.
In 2001,
in 2001 sango kono
I went for a little internship at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to become the first secretary and the desk officer in Morocco, Rabat.
Inatan samba minister bundala memben ni bantala bankolu tema kal londi la fafa nanke nyin kamala intele nata ke mo floti mem marata do ko la wo doku façon la na Gambia la doku bunda membenu Morocco Rabat sate okono.
And then in the year 2005 I was recalled back to the unit.
2005 yen kumandi nan kota ke kan samurundi ate o bunda kilimoto.
Again as the assistant director at the counter-espionage unit.
It was silo yenke director no lankoti nying bunda.
Deputy Director General.
And for 2006 otumo le nata ke suti o fango no lankoti Deputy Director General.
To 2007,
for 2007
I was dismissed,
yembay
and I was reabsorbed again in 2008,
inata murundi nan kota ke yenta do ko la 2008 sango kono
and I was dismissed in 2009.
kota ke 2009 sango kono yembay.
Yeah, extensive experience at the NIA.
Jambale soto NIA la do ko.
That would make you a person who's very knowledgeable about the institution.
O be kera molte me yalon ko yelondi sahari ngala soto do ko dingira nyin na koro.
What are the various units of the department of the agency?
NIA found
Several units, but let me start from the NSS. Let me just dissect a little bit.
NIA bunda jamal le bije bari mba follow la bunda la watu follow men NSS be caring.
During the time of the NSS, the units that were in existence
Watu men NSS be caring bunda lu menu beje
was the counter-espionage unit,
wala kullo sumulu noma sata bunda
political and dissidence group,
lotiko lu nim balanna lu fanal la bunda mem marta wala
the economic sabotage unit,
menu fanal mu fanko tinyala alti wala fanal la ko noma sata bunda.
and you have the ops room. We call it the ops room. It's the operational room that is responsible for multimedia communication monitoring.
Wala ops room ko wala do ko lu tamandi bunda menu marta kibaru lu fanalu saundo ning ataning ado ko sambanya la karola
And religious.
ning mem marta anin dino lu kunyalu.
Then when the NSS, when the NIA came into being,
Ring NIA na talo
then the newest baby was born.
tumoleng ye bunda kutalondi de nani kuto findita je
That was the investigation department.
wolem kisi kisiro bundati.
But apart from these